Seeing Alaska by car, there are way more opportunities to take your time and make impromptu stops and see this magnificent state from the perspective of the people who live there and the highways that they travel. The scenery is breathtaking around every curve, and there are many pullouts along the highway to stop and take photos and just breathe in the beauty. As we head out of Anchorage, making our way to our 3-night stay in Talkeetna, we made a last-minute decision to drive up to Hatcher Pass and the Independence Mine to see for ourselves why everyone says this place is worth the stop. Be sure to comment below and let me know what you think. The drive to Hatcher Pass takes about 40 minutes from Wasilla, and it's a well-paved road. It's well above the tree line in the Talkeetna Mountains. And when you get to the top, you are transported to the most immense, rugged beauty. The Independence Mine, built in 1934, was once the second largest gold mining operation in Alaska. At its peak, the gold mine was home to 206 workers and 16 families, and they lived there year-round. The mine community was self-sufficient with a school, store, and medical facilities. The mine shut down in World War II as it was considered non-essential work and the men had to go off to war. But the mine reopened once again shortly after the war in 1948, but it only stayed open for 2 years as it was deemed too expensive to continue operation, and it permanently shut down. Designated a historical site in 1982, the state has worked to preserve the 22 buildings that remain. But as you can see, the weather has taken its toll on a lot of the operation of the wooden buildings. After taking in the spectacular beauty of Hatcher Pass, we drove back down the mountain to the town of Wasilla, where we stopped by the Iditarod headquarters. Dog sledding, or what is commonly known in Alaska as mushing, became a necessity during the Alaska Gold Rush of 1896. In 1925, dog sleds proved their value as a means of transportation when an epidemic of diphtheria threatened the population of Nome, Alaska. The 40-degree below zero weather made air flight impossible, and in a heroic team effort called the Great Race of Mercy, 20 mushers and more than 100 dogs ran a grueling relay, some 674 miles in less than 5.5 days, to deliver a 20-pound package of antitoxin serum. In 1973, Joe Reddington Sr., known as the father of the Iditarod, started an annual race on the exact route from Nome to Anchorage to commemorate the historic rescue of 1925. We were lucky to meet an actual Iditarod team called Dark Horse Sled Dogs with the owner and musher, Riley Deich.
Working your way up the boss, huh?
Yeah, she's in my main Iditarod team, and then this is the 9-month-old.
Oh, okay. This is the boss.
Yeah, Charlotte's 3. She's a up-and-coming main leader. She's kind of coaching little Aberdeen here.
Good girl.
Aberdeen's dad is Elway, this guy right here. He's my
okay.
all-around
Elway.
main leader. He's my best Iditarod leader.
Wow. These guys are actually doing it.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
What's the breed?
Alaskan Huskies.
They are Huskies.
Yeah, Alaskan Huskies. There's about 20 different breeds of Huskies.
Oh, okay.
Alaskan Huskies are bred purely for performance on
Got
appearance.
it,
So
okay.
There's no breed standard on appearance. They're not inbreeding to limit their gene pool to make them all look the same, you know. They're much more diverse, so breeding purely for performance.
When it
Keeps
comes
them
time,
active and moving. Then, yeah, October 1st we'll begin real fall training.
that's what I was gonna say. Then you start doing long.
Yeah,
miles,
just like
longer
human,
trips.
you know, ultra run, we just build up incrementally. You know, we start low. We're a little. The nice thing about working all summer is they have a head start. You know, that soft tissue base is already developed and ready, so they can start gaining mileage a little bit quicker than if they were, you know, just had the summer off. So go to Nome in 9 days, you know, like they do. Hey, Aberdeen.
Naughty is not where we point.
Come on.
Oh my God! I was wondering if that happens to get all tangled up.
She's learning. Eventually, she'll learn to keep the line tight.
Right.
All right, ready, Aberdeen? All right. That's all belly based. All these guys say for Aberdeen front right, 911.
Oh wow! There's summer days going up here, so you guys are awesome. Leaving the Iditarod Huskies behind, we make our way north to Talkeetna, where we've secured an Airbnb cabin for 3 days. Talkeetna is a little over an hour's drive from Wasilla. And as we got closer to town, we couldn't believe our eyes as the ever so elusive Mount Denali was out in full glory. When we got to Talkeetna, we quickly drove to the edge of town along the river where we got a perfect view of the mountain. It's said that only roughly 10% of summer visitors ever get to see the largest mountain in North America. Standing at 20,310 feet, it has its own weather system, so it seems to be always obscured by clouds. The tiny town of Talkeetna is buzzing with restaurants, a brewery, gift shops, and lots of live music. I found it fun to watch the locals fish along the river for salmon. Since Talkeetna is just off the park's highway, which goes to Denali and eventually Fairbanks, the Alaska Railroad runs through town, dropping off and picking up passengers, making flag stops along the way. In the next episode, the weather finally clears and we hop on a ski plane flight with K2 Aviation to hopefully land on a glacier at the foot of Denali, deep in the heart of the Alaska Range and Denali National Park.